In today's video, we are going to go ahead and cover the 6 best prismatic seeds that are in the shop. Now, this list was compiled by frequent Grow a Garden players in which they decided that the following seeds were the best seeds: Giant Pinecone, Elder Strawberry, Ember Lily, Sugar Apple, Burning Bud, and Beanstalk. These were the 6 prismatic seeds Grow a Garden players decided were the best prismatic seeds. So we're going to put them in a battle together to see which one ultimately is the best. So here I have all of the 6 plants already fully grown thanks to my Nightmare Frog. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rate them visually and rate them at base value. Then from there we're going to determine which one is the best. So coming up to our very first one is our Sugar Apple. This one was a classic that everyone really enjoyed and really liked. So we're starting off with this one. This is how the plant looks like, very straightforward. I really like the structure of it. So overall, visually, I give it a 7 out of 10. And this is how the fruit looks like, averaging at 12 kg. I really like this fruit. So let's go ahead and see how much this one is worth. 93,000 shekels. So not bad, so not bad. That's a very good base value for a prismatic. So what I would rate the base value for the Sugar Apple, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. So moving on, let's go ahead and move on to our Giant Pinecone. So this is how it looks like. I actually really like this one, so I'm gonna give it visually a 9 out of 10. I like the details it has in it. And so this is how the fruit looks like. Let's pick this one up, averaging around 7 kg. Quite simple, quite straightforward. Let's go ahead and see its base value. 149,000 shekels. That's absolutely wild. So base value wise, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a very valuable prismatic plant. Moving on to number 3 is the Burning Bud, which is another classic that everyone liked. Visually, I definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I like how the flower looks like, and I like the base of the plant. And I have seen some absolutely wild plants, so definitely deserves a 10 out of 10. Averaging around 10 kg, this is how it looks like. Once again, the flower looks very nice. Let's see its base value. 63,000 shekels. So that's definitely lower than the other ones we have seen. So I'm gonna rate the base value a 6 out of 10. Not the best, not the most valuable, but still very good and a little bit decent. Number 4 is the Elder Strawberry. Now, I have to personally say that the Elder Strawberry is my personal favorite. I like how it looks, especially how the fruit looks like. So visually, I would give it a 10 out of 10. However, it's more on the simpler side, so I will give it a 9 out of 10. Averaging around 6 kg, this is how the fruit looks like. Once again, I really like it. Let's see its base value. 93,000 shekels, so around the same as the Sugar Apple. So I will give the base value a 8 out of 10. I believe I gave them, don't remember, but since it's in the 9,000 mark, they'll be an 8 out of 10 base wise. Next up is the Ember Lily. So this one I think is one of the coolest fruits in general because of its detail. So I will definitely give it visually wise an 8 out of 10. The plant is more on the basic side, however the fruit definitely carries the plant. So let's go ahead and pick that one up. Averaging around 16 kg, this is how it looks like. Definitely looks more like a chrysanthemum, but looks more like a spider. So let's just go ahead and see how much this one is worth. 120,000 shekels. That's absolutely wild. So I definitely give the base value a 10 out of 10. Definitely up in there with the Pinecone. So we definitely have a tie between the Pinecone and the Ember Lily. Next up is the Beanstalk. Now this one visually is one of my favorites as well because of how cool the plant looks like. It's very twisted, definitely unique. So what I would have to say is visually it's definitely a 9 out of 10. And I have seen some absolutely enormous Beanstalks. So averaging around 13 kg, this is how the plant looks like. Very straightforward, very simple. So let's see how much it is base wise. 47,000 shekels. So that one's definitely not the best. Base value wise, I definitely give it a 5 or no, I give it a 4.5 out of 10. It's not as valuable, so this one definitely will not be in our top tier due to its low value price. So unfortunately, that one is the lowest value out of all 6 prismatic seeds. So ultimately our top two is the giant pinecone and the Ember Lily. Both of them averaging around 120,000 shekels, as well as visually looking very nice. However, in 6th place we have the Beanstalk. In 5th place we have the Burning Bud. In 4th place we have the Elder Strawberry. And in 3rd place we have the Sugar Apple. So now, which one is number 1 and which one is number 2? So after looking at both plants, the giant pinecone and the Ember Lily, I come to determine that the giant pinecone is the best out of all of them. Meaning, the Ember Lily is second on the list and the giant pinecone is first. That is because it visually looks nice and the fruit is very valuable without any mutations. So keep in mind, this could vary depending on mutations, the size, everything plays a part into the base value. However, in this case, we are rating them on no mutations and average size, which brings the giant pinecone to our winner, which is super unexpected. I definitely thought that the sugar apple or the elder strawberry was going to be our winner. However, the giant pinecone came through and showed that it deserves the first spot. And as a huge thank you for hitting 200 subscribers, I'm giving away this Nightmare Mimic. All you have to do to enter is you want to make sure you are subscribed, you like this video, and you comment down below your username as well as your favorite prismatic in-shop seed. Winner will be announced in 2 days, as I will be replying to your comment to check your connections request. So good luck, and I'll see y'all next time. Keep on gaming on.